Yeah, fix my beard for ladies watching.
I don't know nothing about that, but okay.
But let's get into it. I know we were holding on. Thank you for holding down. What I had to think about
All good, brother.
our what the fuck story
What
of the week.
fuck?
These white domestic terrorists stormed the Capitol. This is the ultimate act of treason, and I think we all know treason is punishable by death. The irony of this is a few of those dumb motherfuckers killed themselves in the process.
Right.
And I am laughing at you. Yeah, no mercy. Sweep the leg, Johnny. JB, can you break down exactly what happened, man?
Okay, so Congress was meeting for a joint session to officially count and certify the Electoral College vote that showed that Joe Biden was the clear winner of our national election for president. Senators and congressmen were in the building. Now, prior to this moment, prior to this date, all over Twitter, all over social media, Trump had been gathering protesters to come to Washington, D.C. for a rally that he said he was going to do that day. CNN even reported it. Trump is going to do a rally on the 6th.
Save America.
Yeah, and he titled it Save America, and then he knew what the fuck was going on because he stood behind a bulletproof glass and then encouraged and fired up the crowd and then commanded them to march down Pennsylvania Avenue and, quote, cheer, but not quite really cheer, and I quote, on our senators who are standing up. And you can't take back America with weakness. You have to come from a position of strength. Again, I quote. And so these cracker-ass, crazy terrorists, trifling motherfuckers march down Pennsylvania.
Charlemagne the God calls them, instead of Al-Qaeda, Al-Cracker. So, Al-Cracker.
These motherfuckers strolled down Pennsylvania Avenue in broad daylight and then stood around the Capitol and demanded that the police let them in. And guess what the police...
Let's pause right there for a second, JB.
I don't think they demanded. The police seem very
for
accommodating.
the people that are not familiar with D.C. and
right.
not familiar with how heavily guarded the Capitol building
Thank
is.
you. Thank you.
You cannot approach the Capitol building past a series of barricades that still leave you a good 150 yards from where they were all congregating.
Yep.
So the fact that they were able to advance onto the Capitol with very little resistance says a lot. And we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
go ahead, JB.
Then the cops proceeded to open the barricades so that they could approach the building.
Inside job.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. And so then you get all of a sudden this incredible media coverage because now white people are literally storming the White House. And most of the images, most of what we saw at that point were frankly whitewashed because we didn't get to see all of the violence that was happening. So they were showing us live photos that were still scrubbed because we weren't seeing everything that was going on. They were showing lame-ass crackers like climbing up a wall, and they showed the one image with the dude standing at the door with the gun or whatever. Meanwhile, while they were filming that, a Capitol police officer was bludgeoned to death with a fire extinguisher, right? Another police officer, they finally released the images, was trapped, wedged in a door where somehow they had, go ahead.
They had the shield, their little shields, so they had him wedged in the door with a shield and the door, and he's screaming out for help. I thought Blue Lives Mattered.
While the guy's trying to take off his gas mask.
I thought Blue Lives Mattered. They don't, they matter? When? Okay.
Okay,
They matter when it's convenient.
So on that day, we weren't getting these images, but later,
Hold on, JB, before you go on to later. So we saw that. We saw the mayor of D.C., Muriel Bowser, called in for the National Guard.
Right.
Where the fuck were they,
They
though?
denied. They did not show up. The Congress and Senate had to pressure Donald Trump into making a statement. Joe Biden made a statement earlier.
But to the National Guard, Vice President Mike Pence was actually the one who actually gave the authority to activate the
Eventually.
Washington
Yes.
National
Eventually.
Guard.
Because it needed to be done. Because
it needed to be done because where
the
was Trump?
governor of Virginia actually had to send in his National
Exactly.
Guard
And
to
Maryland.
assist us.
And Maryland.
Okay, and Maryland.
Yep.
I fuck with Hogan.
Yeah.
Hogan cool.
He's all right for a Republican.
I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Exactly. Exactly.
But so Pence betrayed Trump.
Yep.
That led Trump off. Well, Trump finally came on and spoke. He said, you know, they need to go home, blah, blah, blah.
You're
They're very
special.
special.
We love
We
you.
love you. And it's that dog whistling and that bullshit that has me like,
Get the fuck
fuck
outta
racist Rick, fuck Trump. Like, this was treason. And I thought treason was punishable by death. And now that we've, to your point, JB, have seen the new video, we know that a cop was killed. We know that, and I feel no way about the young lady who was shot in the neck. Why the fuck were you trying to break into the Capitol?
Yeah.
Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, this is, JB, you were telling me, before we progress, you were telling me that this same thing happened in Germany with Hitler.
Yeah.
Speak on it.
Can you break
Speak
that
on
down?
it. Speak on it.
Yeah. And so a lot of
Because before you do that, there were several references to Hitler from the crowd in that revolt. So
Yeah,
this
and
is going to be very poignant.
So here's the scary part, and a lot of people don't realize this. You can look this up on YouTube. You can find this on Google. It's called the Beer Hall Rebellion. It happened in the mid-20s in Germany when they were rebuilding after World War I. So there was a government that was starting to lean left, leaning toward popularism, even communism. And a bunch of right-wing motherfuckers got together and they just decided, okay, Hitler's going to be our designated asshole. He doesn't really have any experience. He's failed at every fucking thing he's ever done. But you know what he can do? He can whip up a crowd, though. So we're going to follow him. Boom. And so what he did was he led a rebellion. He went to
JB, talk to
yeah,
those
sorry.
who-
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah. He led a group of about 50 or 60 followers into a legislative building where the Congress at the time was deliberating on law. Now, the guards stopped those individuals from trying to go into the building. Ironically, 4 people died. Several were injured. Hitler was convicted of insurrection and treason and was sent to prison. Went to prison for over a year. Here's the part you guys don't know, kickbackers. That is when he wrote Mein Kampf. He left prison and then became the leader of Nazi Germany. That is why this is scary, because this isn't over yet. Trump isn't over yet. That's what makes this whole thing weird, right? Because you had this thing happen, there was an insurrection in the White House, and then real talk, everybody sort of went home. Yeah. And we're talking about crimes of treason, and I'm not hearing about anybody dying for their crimes right now. I'm hearing about people getting arrested for possession of firearms and shit.
Explosives. So
And
they
yeah.
came in town with guns and bombs.
Pipe bombs.
They came in
Homemade
pipe
pipe
bombs.
bombs.
They came in town with guns and bombs.
And zip ties.
So
Yeah,
that they
zip ties.
could, so that
They
they
had
could
the
take
intent of holding
prisoners.
prisoners and hostages.
And one guy that was
from
arrested said that he was there to kill Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck?
There also caught on video people literally saying, "Where is Pence? Where is Pence? We want to hang him." That's
Oh,
you
they
can
bought a
hear.
noose.
You
They
can
bought a
hear that.
noose.
Wow.
You can hear that.
You see how big that noose was? How big
Wow.
the setup was? I was like, did y'all have that in your car? Like, it was in your pocket?
Yeah.
Like, where'd you get all this?
Yeah, them
Where
white
the fuck?
people.
That's what she said, but never mind.
Yeah, I mean, let's follow the track right now. Everybody's crazy. You got all of these fucking lame ass Republicans jumping ship and disavowing what happened, yet still objecting to the certification in Congress. So it's still going on. Trump has been banned from Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for life.
Shopify, Pinterest, Pornhub. He can't do nothing. He can't do nothing no more.
No, that's
I'm being
real.
honest.
That's real.
I think he banned from
all
Black Planet
real.
too. It's crazy. I don't know why it took them to this point. We have been speaking about this for years, about what he's doing. I remember when he was running, we made a big stink about it on the podcast when he ran against Obama, about what he was doing, what he was capable of, and then against Hillary. And, and then in recent years, we've been saying, yo, like Trump is like he's speaking to that demographic of the white population who feels disenfranchised, which is corny to me because like you were disenfranchised. What about what we went through? But in talking to Racist Rick, and I talked to Racist Rick and I watch Fox News because I need to know what the enemy thinking. And I'm not a Democrat, so it's not like the world is Democrat Republican. I'm just righteous and they're evil. That, you know what I'm saying? I'm righteous and ratchet. Of course, but they're evil. So that's the battle. It's between good and bad, not Democrat Republican. Because I don't like Biden.
Yeah,
I don't like no old white people. If you're like 70 and white, I don't like you. You grew up in a time that I don't think that you're going to change. Now your children and your grandchildren, and some of your daughters and I mean, well, I'm on Jasmine Sullivan right now. And so I can't do the white girls. Sorry, white girls. You make a song, but you spit on it, and I'll be on YouTube. But anyway, getting back to this. So I don't like old white people. So I don't like Biden. I don't like Trump. Don't like Bernie. They're old and white. I don't like none of them. But it's righteous and evil. And what we've been seeing is the axis of evil. Who did they make that up about? Who was the axis of evil back in the day?
It was during World War II. Well, it started in World War II, actually, because they were called the Axis powers. Italy, Germany, and eventually Japan. But they ran a line straight down the middle of Europe, which is why they called themselves the Axis. And then it became the axis of evil with Iraq and its affiliation with Syria and other countries who in the Middle East who don't like the United States. They became the axis of evil.
That was GW to say that, right?
Yes, it was.
See, this is why it's so cool to have a Harvard graduate as your co-host. I'm like, hey, I heard something. Maybe, what I heard? Like, this is what you heard. So I do want to say that
but to that point about old white men, we do give Biden a lot of shit for not being, what he can't be, right? But what I was pleased to see was for the first time he got up and said, America, I want you all to really think about this. Imagine if that were 30,000 Black Lives Matter.
Thank you.
How this situation would have unfolded so much differently. The fact that he said that is big.
100%. You are absolutely right, and we got to give him his flowers for that.
Got to give him that.
But Mitch McConnell, all those Republican senators said the same thing. I was watching this shit like, what world are we in?
Yeah. Well, it was kind of like one of the, like you had to burn him to wake him out of the dark sleep, like
was
Raiders of the
second-
Lost Ark. You got to do that.
It's going to be three things.
Yeah.
George Floyd was one.
Yeah.
Every racist white person was like, wait a damn minute. I don't like these niggas. They make the funky bebop music, but I don't really like them. But you put your knee on a man's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
Like, what the fuck?
Like, what the fuck? Like, we can't do that shit.
You can't do that.
That's a little much.
Now they're looking at, the march on the storm in the Capitol. They're like, wait a minute.
Right.
I like a good nigga joke as much as everybody else. But you can't do that.
Right.
That's not patriotic.
Right.
And unfortunately, I feel there's going to be one more thing. And that's going to forever shift the country. I've been telling old racist Rick he has lost the country.
It's gone.
Like, you've lost it. There's no country for old men. It's over because your kids and your grandkids are with me. He's like, well, the election was really, really close. And I was like,
No, it wasn't.
It
No,
really
it wasn't.
really wasn't.
It wasn't.
Trump keeps telling you
Nah,
that.
You keep believing.
I was like,
Biden won by the largest spread in history, the most votes ever to cast for a presidential candidate.
right.
There's no,
Exactly.
you can't have that and then say, but he won
close.
by a narrow
It was
margin.
so-
It was
it was
no,
so
the fuck
close.
it wasn't. 5 fucking million votes.
That's what made this shit so batshit. You got Trump saying we won by a landslide.
No, you
No, the other nigga won by a landslide.
Right.
Like,
And the crazy thing is he has amnesia because that's how he won the presidency over Hillary. Hillary won by a landslide. She got more than 3 million votes from the popular vote.
Right,
But he turned the Rust Belt red and by the damn, the electoral college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He,
This needs to be
he
Right.
lost by the same way he won the presidency, which is again ironic.
Yeah.
I love it.
I was damn. Shit, lost my thought again.
Yep. I saw
I'm
that
giving me
coming.
weed before the show.
Whoa.
The views expressed by JB. But damn,
Yeah.
say what you were saying
Now I
again
gotta
about
find like some kind of beep or some kind of sound shit. He just added another fucking 3 hours to my production night with that one fucking.
My
I ain't mad at you,
weed,
brother.
weed. And 3 more hours.
Oh shit.
Fuck you.
Oh man. Moving right
Oh
along.
my God, I hate you so much right now.
I love it.
That was horrible.
Do you understand what
I still lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
You were saying,
Uh,
what were you just saying? Trump.
you see yourself right now.
I'm trying to summon the energy. I'm still thinking about Jasmine.
I can't breathe.
No, we were talking about Biden and how he should be given credit.
You said you wanted to give him his flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we give Biden his flowers. We give the Republican senators their flowers.
Yeah.
But we still need action behind all of that.
Yeah.
We love the words. Very heartfelt. You got great. Thank you. We need action. We need
Yeah.
action.
I just want to say one more thing, and I'll make this as brief as possible. We can't let up on the pressure on the Republican Party. All of this American unity bullshit they're talking about, that's fucking bullshit because motherfuckers
I'm
need
sure
to
you
be
see
held
us pressing so
accountable.
much. I'm just saying.
I'm angry.
I'm just saying.
So they need to have some fargan consequences.
Use your
because-
Harvard words. Use your Harvard words.
No,
This
they're
nigga's
no.
Fargan.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. That's the Gangsta Geek word of the week? Fargan?
It's from an old movie. Anyway,
Oh, the filth, Florin filth.
Oh shit.
yo, real quick, y'all. We can't let up. We can't fall victim to this unity crap that they talk every time they talk about. We want to heal the country. No, that the country needs to be healed with accountability. You don't fix a relationship ignoring what you did.
Right.
You have to acknowledge and pay the price and be made accountable for what you did. And that's how America heals. Period. That's it.
Yeah, you can't heal what you don't reveal.
Thank you.
In the words of the great poet laureate, Jigga.